Labs.net. Today is Friday, August 31st. First, I want to announce that I'll be doing a webinar just after Labor Day, Tuesday, September 4th. You can find this on my blog at webinar event, Build a Baby Automated Trading System with Algos Require Streaming. So the date is right here, September 4th, which is really, I got to adjust that to 7 p.m. Okay, so we'll definitely get that corrected. Next up, so let me just show you what I've been working on over the last few days. Been pretty quiet lately. Some of you may or may have not noticed yesterday I did put up a sample of my trading system in operation. The progress has been going pretty good. Go under my YouTube channel here, first glimpse of fully automated trading system in cryptocurrency. So this is it in action again. I'm constantly updating the indicators, the parameters for those indicators and whatnot. I've changed around the indicators to make it more accurate. Here's Redis, which I'm still using. I'm also using the Redis desktop manager for all my positions. These are all my watch list right now. It's all automated, just so you know. I've got some from running late last night and a bunch of new ones, as well as positions. I have 4 right now open. This is determined. The big driver that adds these positions is the volume. If it's, let's say, 10,000 over an hour, I accept it and put the trade on. I have tested 100,000, 50,000. That depends upon the cryptocurrency, the asset class, how the volumes are for the day. If it's up, obviously the volumes will go up. So I'm testing that, but I can change that in an automated way. Okay, so that's running as is. So if I open now, I'm working a lot more on the console, as you can imagine. That's why if you are going to do this, you're better off to work in a non-Windows environment. I just prefer it, and I put up a bunch of new items on logging and scheduling. This right here, this script is a scheduler now. It's 100% in Python. It's equivalent of a cron job. It works really, really well. I have certain tasks that will run every minute, every 5 minutes, 15 minutes. That's obviously just due to the downloads and the charting. As well as I've got a process running every hour, and on the positions, I'm right now testing every minute. That is what Binance enables me to have. If you look at other exchanges, you don't get the generous tolerances that the Binance servers allow compared to other cryptocurrency exchanges. The selection on Binance is pretty wide too, over 300. So before I forget, I wanted to let you know, I thought I would be able to do a strategy to feed into the database based around ICO's initial coin offerings. I did put a post up on that yesterday. Where'd it go? Yeah, could algo trading with ICOs and coin market cap be a waste of time? My answer is yes, it is. At least the way I tested it, and I spent about 5-6 hours working on a script, which should not take me more than 20 minutes to do. But running the tests, running everything out of, as you can see here, I have over 100 coins that I downloaded, the 100 best performing at that point on coin market cap. Not one was listed on Binance, because I use Binance as the way to vet that coin and make sure it's not being manipulated in any way, so you don't get ripped off when you see those sudden spikes like in this chart here, which is, as I said, very similar to what you'd find in a Trump coin or any penny stock. In this case, is Trump coin as a joke, but it does exist, and it did have a day where, or over a week, it went up 400 times or 4 times. So that's that. Now back to the console. I have here and live and die now by logs. I have my scripts generate logs. Let me show you the size of them. They can get pretty big. I have cut back on the amount that I'm logging. So I'm going to do an entire workshop on this because I think this is so important. I know a lot of people will read charts, but you're not going to get as much info as you can with logs. So this is my watch list log. You can see I don't know how many entries. My last one. Let me make a copy of that. Watch list log. I'm gonna call it 2. Okay, because my other script that's running right now updates it, so I don't want to tie up the file. So when you look at this log here, this is a small one, but I've had instances where I've gone through over 1,000 lines. This one's only 143 lines, but I've had 1,000 plus, and I've gone through probably about 30 different coins or cryptocurrency pairs that were open, and I was able to watch the movement of these pricing patterns. I've shown this before. Currently, I'm using RSI on 5-minute, 15-minute, hourly, and the rate of change. I'm also not only using the cryptocurrency pair itself, but I want to compare it to something. So I compare it against Bitcoin or another benchmark that I have access through Binance, because it doesn't have any finance fiat currency in there like a US dollar or euro. So we compare the performance here of 5-minute against that benchmark, as well as 15-minute and hourly. You learn a lot when you go through this, so I'm going to have a whole entire number of hours to go through this with other indicators, and you can see how relationships develop as prices come in. You can see the percent moves on these time frames. As you can see here, and volume is another big driver of it as well. So for instance, and that volume is based on hourly. So let's say here, this is like one of those incredible moves that you've seen me, but now we're actually seeing the raw data. Over 5 minutes, you get a negative 0.88% move. Meanwhile, in a 15-minute move, you can move up 2.48% against something like Bitcoin, which is only moving 0.22. Hourly, some of these can be as high as, I've seen as high as 10%. And it's those moves that you want to capture and trade on. So that's what I've been tracking. So if I go into my other log here, so this is a watch list. And if you see my watch list, sorry, my positions, positions log, positions to log. Okay, this is the latest one I just showed you. Now this one updates every minute. So if I just do a log here, you'll notice that the watch list gets updated every 5 minutes, but the position log will get updated every minute. But right now, there may be a amount of threshold I have for the number of positions, and that's testing against Binance to capture the latest pricing of those open positions. So if I look at that latest log for positions to log, let's see what's happening here. Okay, so here you can see the number of positions. Oh wow. So the number of positions have really opened up, and I can confirm that in my Redis desktop manager. And this is a pretty well and a major update. So if I look at my crypto, I've got from 4 to now 8 more positions. So I have a total of 12 on right now. Now, let me just show you what I've been doing up until this point. So each one of these little hyphen lines is the batch for that minute. So you can see here, this would be, okay, so today is the 31st. So I stopped processing this last night at 11:29 p.m. Okay, or am I right? Yeah, here. August. Oh no. Okay, right here. So I stopped processing at 12:30 last night. just after midnight. Okay, so you can see here, here's the 4 positions. Okay, so those are the 4 positions. The 4 positions, so I booted up the system today, reran everything, just ran manually the position manager to generate this set and this set. What I want to show you is that these entries are really critical, and I'm going to show you why. Because the position manager, this is the latest close, right? And my system, the key behind it is I don't use any form of letting the broker, the exchange know the stop loss. So I have my system through this log, through the database, capture and calculate what it thinks is the best stop loss. So it's a virtual stop loss. So I've gone through this in great detail. I believe it's in my course, in the Python course, the version 3. And I have a complete huge section on this now for the watch list and the automated position manager. So this is the continuation of it, where I have, as you can see here, 11:30. Now this is key. This is why I'm saying this is a key skill to have. You can clearly see last night, 12:30 last night, the price was here. Okay, that's the latest price. This was the latest, the original stop loss put on. So this is the amount put on for that original stop loss. Okay, so I have here 1089, 1083. So that's the low stop loss. So if the current price breaks through that, cut the trade. Not only that, but I'm doing equivalent of a trailing stop loss. So what I have is I have 2 different targets. One's a hard stop loss, the other one's a soft loss. And it will calculate both of these as the price comes in. Okay, so that scenario will cover if the closing price goes up, which I'll show you in the next batch. If the price goes up and then it updates the new low stop loss and suddenly the price falls below this stop loss, what will tend to happen is it will cut the trade, meaning it will minimize that loss on the profit since the originally calculated stop loss. So you can clearly see, if we go into the next minute, or sorry, this is the next morning actually, from 12:30 last night to 11:19. So I'm going to show you all 4 of these. So there's 4 of them. So this is the original stop loss right here, right? That was put on when this position was put on. This is all make believe, or this is, well, it's real data, but it's just testing these stop losses. Because see, this is the first stop loss, the original one. This is the newly updated one, and this is just equivalent of a soft stop loss. That's for risk management when I apply it. But here, the original stop loss, but the key here is the price always stays higher than the stop loss. That's even into the overnight trade. And remember that cryptocurrency never closes. So that's the key I want you to take away. So when you look at the other 4, right, at the close, here's the close at 4446. Yes, it's higher than the original stop loss. It's still higher than the low stop loss, and that's in the next morning. On top of, you've got this close price at 0.531, higher than the original stop loss and higher than the most recent at that point. So again, that's 3 out of 3 that are higher. The new closing price in the morning is higher than the original stop loss from the night before, and that's nearly 12 hours. 12 hours later. So this is still a profitable trade. Now, between 12:30 last night and approximately 11:19 this morning, yes, if I had the system running, this position manager, there may have been a dip below either this stop loss, the original, or the lower stop loss, but it didn't happen. So all 4, and I'll show you this one. So this is the latest closing price for the 4 out of 4. This price, 1089, is still higher than the original stop loss and still higher than the latest low stop loss. It's like a range. And then we keep moving ahead, okay? And now we have all these new ones that I'll be able to track. And I'm going to keep this process running throughout the day, maybe through the night. I don't know. But it's pretty exciting. Oh, one of them got closed. So this one, Loom Meth. So that is when it gets closed out. So let me just verify. This is a new testing condition, which is good. Let me just see if that position got closed up. So we want to make sure we have no Loom. Yeah, so that has worked. So we no longer have this Loom Ethereum pair in the current open position. Okay, let me just see here. Loom. Yeah, so this got closed and got removed out of the database, and that's good. That's what I want. So my position manager is supposed to be doing what I want. Now, the question is, did I make money or not? Okay, so what I can do, so it has this closing the trade, so I can track that line by line. Let me just see what happened to it. Probably was a losing position. I wouldn't be surprised by that. So if I just go in and copy the latest log, okay, let me just reload this. I don't know if this is the latest, but let me just do that again. Okay, so that was Loom. Okay, so here's Loom. So this opened at 8:31, 11:32. Let me see how long that position stayed. So the closing price was this. Now this is another log I need, or something I need to track on the profit loss, because this is a new development for me. So let me just pull that up. Actually, no, let me pull up a spreadsheet, might be better. Yeah. Okay. So we have a new spreadsheet. Okay, let me just pull up this record, or this row. Okay, and then the very last one, so that took place again at 11:32. 11:32, 11:34, 11:40. So it only lasted 8 minutes. Now this is not meant to be a high frequency trading strategy, but this is sort of exciting. Okay, so our latest closing price was right here. So let me just do a calculation here. So that's our closing price, or pretty close to it. And this is the original one. So I gotta be able to automate this. Okay, so that's the original price. So let me just do this calculation here. Let me just see what happened here. So the question is, did I make money on this one trade? Okay, so we want to know if we made money or not. Yeah, here. Spreadsheets are not my forte, but I can. So it looks like I made a little bit of money in 3. No, yeah, I know what happened here. Okay, so somehow the price did not move actually, and just closed out the price. That's what happened. It looks like it got triggered. So these are bugs that I need to obviously work on. But so let me see. Okay, so we got to close. Let me just see if there's any more of these. So we got another one, AION. Okay, so we got one. Oh, so we got a bunch of them. So let me just see if we close this one out. When Ethereum. Now, This is just part of the, so WAN, so is there a WAN Ethereum? There's a WAN BTC. Just check. So it looks like it is removing everything from the database, which is good. So we already tested that one. This pair I didn't like, to be honest. I didn't like the look of it. Okay, so that's AION. AION. So that's not in the database as well. So that's working. That's a critical point. But okay, wow. Okay. So what I can do as a trick, I'm gonna open up a new. So if you get good at Linux or a Linux-like command, okay, so let me just navigate to my directory, Python analyze positions. Okay, so we have this log. As you can see here, it grows pretty fast, but I've cut down a lot from the original log. It was quite a bit. So let me show you a trick here. Tail F positions log. So that'll keep that open forever. Okay. And what we can do is we can grep for any text. So in this case, I'm going to grep for this. So whenever there is a closing position, it will. Oh, okay. I guess I got to take this guy out. Okay, so if there's a close or an exit, this process will capture it, so I can get quickly notified. So I have here now, how many? So I got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So this is when. Now I gotta calculate this. This is interesting. This is an important. As you can see, this is an important process. So that's the close. So we want the first when, and that's the so we want the original when that position was opened up. So it was only on for 3 minutes. Huh. When? Okay, let me just see what's going on here. There's a test condition in there that is preventing. Okay, so we have 4. Oh, I see. Yeah, you can tell this is the original closing price. It was losing money, so it closed the position. So I took a loss there. That's probably why that took place. Okay, so that's why it's closing these positions. Yeah, just want to check these out. This is really good to do live. Okay, so we have one more. This one, like I said, I just don't like. I've never liked this one. This particular coin or whatever. Okay, so that's the closing. All right. Where's my AION? So let's find out where that took place. There's 4 of these we were chasing after. Okay, so let's find previous. So again, this is probably another money loser, but you can see what this is good because it prevents you taking premature losses. Let's see here. Okay. So where's our AI element? Insert a row. Okay, so we have our original close here. 881. Oh, that, yeah, that's what's happening. Is it's preventing. Oh no, hold on. Yeah, so that's the original. The price goes down, so it's cut the trade. As soon as it hits that negative ATR amount, the lower ATR range, it will cut the trade, which is kind of good because it prevents you from having severe losses. That is really good to know that is doing that. So I just want to make sure that is what's going on here. So we had I never had luck with that. So the nano is another one. Just trying to verify. This is why I think this skill to have to look at these logs is pretty critical, because you can see what's happening in the data, and everything seems to be kind of working tickety-boo. So let me just see if that took a loss as well. Okay, so the price, 44, yeah, so this is the original price for that position. Latest price breaks through the ATR on the downside and it closes it. Okay, so we got close, exit, done that, nano, VTech, let me just see how many there are. Okay, so then I have one more. And that was the Ven. Okay, so let me just see what we have here. Okay, that's the closing price. So we want to find the original price. Let's see here, we got previous. No, we don't want that. We want close, exit. There's Ven. There we go. V, this one. Okay. So we want this particular pair. Okay, let me just. Okay. So VET. So this is what's happening. It's closing the position as it should to prevent. It's cutting the loss. So let me just see the original VE. So there's only 2 instances of it. Okay, let me just check if that is the case. That is a good insurance policy. So, okay, so here's the price, 615, 612. So it's doing exactly what we want. Let's see if there's any other. So there's no other close. So everything else seems to be profitable as is. How many positions have we got on right now? So all the other ones here, 18 of them are all profitable, and only 4 have been closed because they're losing money. That's a pretty good. So that's 4 out of 22. So that's my target is to hit about 2/3. So if I pull up a calculator here, so 18 out of 22. So my target is to make sure we have a 66% winning rate. So we're at 81% winning rate out of the gate. Let me just see if there's any other losing positions. This should get caught in this process here. Okay, so we want to copy the latest positions. Okay. And then we load it in again. Okay, let's see how many we have that are closing. Close, close, close. Okay, so close, exit. So how many of these do we have? And how many instances do we have of this? 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4, and that's what we calculated. All right, so in essence, what we've got here is we've got 18 open positions. It originally, at some point in this video, had 22, and it, within minutes, it closed. As soon as it went negative, the positions went negative. it cut them, which is good for as an insurance policy because humans can't obviously do that. They'll just hang on to those negative trades. I mean, it could come back, that's true, but why take the chance of it going negative and lose money when you have out of 22 positions, 18 of them, which is 81% of them, are profitable. So just cut those trades and hope that these other ones do well, as they clearly probably remain are profitable at this point. So you can see the importance of these logs, and I want to do a whole complete workshop with this. Maybe do it live like this over 4 hours, but do it in a group of people and have people ask questions and stuff. The value of this skill is so immense. You cannot do this charting. The automation enables you to have, as you can tell here, initially 22 positions within a few minutes. 18 of positions are profitable. You can imagine the amount of money that you could be making right now with these. And these are moving. Let me just see how, we'll assume, let me just get the latest rows. So again, I'll get the latest positions. Or sorry, no, we want the watch list. Oh no, yeah, we want the watch list for the percentages. I think, I can't remember what I'm tracking there. Yeah, no, this will work. Log. Okay, so now what we can do is we can track to see how profitable these positions are. So if I go to the very last row here, so here's what's going on. Where's my line? Oh, maybe I don't have it. Okay, so we have 11:55. Oh boy. So let's start 11:55 here. So if we watch for this particular hot BTC, look at this, 5%, it's up 9% in 5 minutes. We have XMR BTC, it is up, wow, we want this one. So over 5 minutes, it's up 0.21%. Over 15 minutes, it's up 0.15%, and it's negative 1% over an hour. So here, this one's pretty good, XZCBNB. We are up 1.4% in 15 minutes, and we're up, it doesn't look like as much of a change. So that's XZCBNB. GNT, RS, we don't want the RSI. 5 minutes up. In 5 minutes, it's up 1.7%. 15 minutes, it's up 1.2%. Over an hour, it's up. It's down. So hopefully, we will see what happens here. So we have when BNB. Let's see. Okay, over 15 minutes, that one's up 0.15%. ICX BNB, we are up, well, actually we're down 0.75. We're up 0.65. Now remember, these are not actual open positions. Nulls Ethereum, that's up 0.9%. 15 minutes up 2%. Up 1 hour, it's down. So, like I said, the opportunity is definitely in the intraday. So here we're down. This is XMR Ethereum, down 0.04%, up 0.5%. Even 1% move, people would be pretty ecstatic to have. This one I didn't like. AION. Yeah, there's no changes. It just, that one never does well. ZRX Ethereum, 0.56, 0.22, up 0.22. This one, Dash, Ethereum, it's up 0.18%, 0.53%, down 1.95% on an hour. Hot Ethereum, I think that one we put a position on, a mock position. Did we put a... No, we didn't. Okay, let me just go through that again. So hot Ethereum, we're down 0.71, up 3.5, down. Okay, so once we hit certain criteria, which I'm still tweaking, it will put on a position. Let me just see if there's any new positions. So originally we had 18. Let's see how many we got here. Oh, so we've closed now 6. So those are probably gone negative, I'm going to assume. But you get the idea of what to do here. Look at this, 5 minutes is up 1.8%. 15 minutes is up 1.13%. 1.77. GTC, that one's up 0.6. This one at 5 minutes is up 1.07%. Wow, this is pretty good, but you get the idea of what we're doing here, and that's all you do when you look at these logs. And I think this is more important than looking at charts, because you can look at things in scale and tweak. And right now we have 12 positions still. I'm going to assume all of those other ones have lost. And it's really just understanding the nuances of the market. As I said earlier, one way I can control the number of positions is through volume. Right now it's 10,000. I could bump it up to 50,000 over an hour, or 100,000. And that's another way to control this. And there's a whole variety of other indicators, but I try to keep it simple for now. And we just analyze it, but I definitely have to write a position report to say what's closed, what was the price, what was the price, the close, and the profit, the P&L. But that's pretty well it. And I just want to show you all that exciting stuff. Talk to you later.